Tawancha Morechiwa, Mufa.
Do not volunteer me so easily. There are certain favors that I would not perform even for you, and especially not for a hut. Find another way. Yes, that will be fine.
Tinor Krelun, Conferento Kring, Banokrok, Nixerento Doncha, Morbansum?
I have not trained in the dance, but the Ichani fighting arts are very dance-like in their movements. I do not think it would be a stretch for me to do this.
Dahupa, Bosa Kurata, Go, Jujuto Yoke, Hiata Yamba Waji.
If you want me to, yes, I will do this for you. I would have no problem with it, truly. It is not much more than the fighting I am used to. If that is your decision. However, if you need it of me, I will do it.
Kavadumpa Munsuru Kupla Liyawa, Bo Bagaragawanda Yaitua.
Do not find another. Yes.
Tinor.
I have not trained in.
Da.
If you are sure. Really, though, I would be more than happy to do it.
Muliwrawa Iberendia Tia Wishnu Nunga se?
Put this on?
Kawana Bota Yuntatanga Kinamatura.
In that case, give it to me, and I will prepare myself.
Kawana Bota Yuntatanga Kinamat. Tonino Bapin Koneyaka. Kawana Bota Yuntatanga Kinamatura. Tayaita Tabosananansata. Kawana Bota Yuntatanga Kinamatura. Tayaita Tabosananansata.
Padrito Gchimulira. Nichuta.
Kawana Bota Yuntatanga Kinamatura. Tayaita. Entomesh mi paju. Watamincha Yokolondo ado no.
Yes? You may ask. Before it is not. When if I do not know.
Kavadumpe Masurakul Popayi Botenya Tachimorota Kamsa Javaskobo Subjob.
Herinocha, Minaradocha, Kawanadumpa Kankarebe.
Jikarist Batkoki.
You interrupting.
The Popotenyo go Juju Pichu, when Tabani Sochu, when Toba
Finally decided to let me take a look at your circuitry.
Answer: indeed I did. I hope you understand how difficult it is for me to trust a meat bag with something as delicate as my inner mechanics. Explanation: our encounters with my copies has convinced me that I should look into upgrading my capabilities in order that I may be able to destroy them with greater impunity.
Worried you might be going obsolete? I understand.
Objection: nothing of the sort. I am programmed to improve my capabilities if it will improve my chances of destroying a target, even as unsavory an avenue as this.
You don't have to suffer on my account. Maybe you are better off not letting me dig around in you.
Retraction: you must understand, my previous interactions with meat bags have rarely been pleasant. Disclosure: after all, most of those meetings involved the termination of said meat bags.
It obviously couldn't have been your charming personality. Now, if you want me to see if I can upgrade your functionality, just let me get to work on you.
Answer: in that case, please go ahead. Just be careful not to damage any of my delicate parts. Analysis: my self-diagnostic indicates that my performance has indeed been improved. Also, many of my systems are reporting improved efficiency. Commentary: I am most pleased with this turn of events. It would appear that my initial analysis of your mechanical abilities was incorrect.
You're welcome. If you've got some time, I'd like to see what I can upgrade for you.
Yes, I do have a few moments to spare for your work. I would like to know what he is doing here, though.
He helps me out with repairs. That isn't a problem, is it?
I suppose not. Perhaps in working on my circuitry, your assistant will learn something about how a fully functional droid is constructed.
Just ignore him and let's get to work.
I would appreciate that. Our group has little in the way of time to spare, and I would not want to delay you from your other duties.
Right. Let's get you open. See what you can do. I have to say, you are put together quite well. That wasn't much to do.
As I told you, my design is streamlined and efficient, though I am pleased that you were able to make some improvements, and this was not just a waste of my valuable time.
There were a few things from my remote that I was able to integrate into your construction.
I see. Well, thank you. I'll let you get back to your work.
My life for yours. I am prepared both in mind and body for your teachings. I understand now Such a form will increase my skills and my use to you. I do not understand, but the choice is mine whether you permit it or not. I will answer. It is not a subject which I have... The Jedi, the last council of the Jedi, came to... They succeeded, and my people died.
Yes, General? Sorry, something else?
Statement. Master, if you could indulge me for a moment, I must express some degree of irritation at your actions. Perhaps my anticipation of working with one who served at Malachor 5 was too high, but you are countering all those expectations. Statement. Well, all your behavior up to this point suggests either strong atonement or confirmation that the atrocities attributed to you during the war were in fact accidents. Statement. I suspected as much, Master. There are few who would discuss such things with an assassination droid, and that is perfectly understandable. I mean, what use is there for communication in a galaxy such as ours? Understanding might be achieved, or sympathies might be gained by such callous acts. You are right to remain silent about your past. I have seen the damage that repressing such things brings, and it is far preferable to share such traumas. Answer. Why? Because your actions then and now are related, and I feel I need some context. I confess to being somewhat needy that way. Statement. Sometimes, Master, it is difficult for meatbags to step back and gain some perspective on death and its importance in their insignificant lives. Explanation. You see, Master, assassination is such a versatile tool. I have seen the removal of a single target have far-reaching consequences for a nation, world, even a galaxy. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Statement. Master, please, any comparisons between me and your meatbag status leaves a fluctuating, intermittent charge through my control clusters. I was only trying to bring death and its impact to your attention. Statement. Why your own life, Master? Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Malachor 5 was an impressive act of destruction, but its impact on the lives of others in the galaxy was far more extreme. I mean, Master, you brought about the death of the Mandalorian race. I doubt they realize it yet, but you dealt them a blow from which they will never recover.
Yes? I think you are ready for the final tier I wish to teach. You have made much progress. For this, you may use any melee weapon and any shields you possess, but nothing else. No Jedi saber, and no other items. We shall begin this final lesson then. You have violated the etiquette of our duel. We will leave the instruction for another time, when you are willing to listen. Very well. Let us duel again. Yes? I think you are... For this you may... We shall begin this... was correct about you. You know war, its motions and currents. There is nothing more I can teach you. Duels among the Ichani are rituals, and it does not allow for armor or anything that restricts movement. Your modesty has no place in combat. Even the youngest of the Ichani understand this. You should as well. It is the way of the Ichani to be able to read their opponents, to know where an opponent is going to strike before it connects, anticipate it, and then strike against them. Ichani battles are fought several minutes in advance. In many ways, it is much like the game of Dejarik, played in the core systems. The most advanced among the Ichani are able to predict the course of battles by months, and the most revered are said to be able to predict the path of wars. Only Revan ever demonstrated such skill in war, and even as he slaughtered us, the Ichani still respected him. You are already doing it. If you do not know you are doing it, then training will make you a dangerous opponent indeed. Come, as we fight more, I will teach you. Do not think about predicting my movements. React instinctively. You are doing better. At first I was afraid that your awareness of your own ability might ruin it, but that is not the case. You learn quickly. Perhaps it is your connection to the Force that allows such things, but I do not think so. Now you fight as an Ichani warrior fights, always in the future. Yes? It does not seem to bother you. Yes? There is nothing more I can teach you. I have already learned much of your styles and combat. there is no need to know more. Combat among the Ichani is a personal thing. Repeated duels are not what they are in other cultures, and I would rather that this not become more than it is. And I have taken an oath to Atris against studying from a Jedi, or anything of the Jedi teachings. My father broke his oaths. He shamed us all. I do not wish to follow his path. I swore not to follow his path. If I were to follow a Jedi against Atris's wishes, then I would be betraying her for you. This is a difficult thing for me to say, but I ask that you be silent as I tell you this. It is my desire to learn from you what you can teach me of battle. I have already learned much in our duels, but with every battle, I wish to know more of you. Your stance, your movements, I can sense shades of meaning and an echo of something I have yet to experience. Atris said that you were the only Jedi to have survived the Mandalorian Wars, that you had stared into the heart of war, and only turned away because you were forced to. I do not believe her. I believe that you made a choice, as my father did, and that is important to me, more than you know. And you are important to me more than you know. I will accept whatever you wish to teach me, though it breaks my oath to Atris. I shall await that time. But until then, I will need time to reflect on this. It is different to voice something you feel, and I must grow accustomed to the wait.
Yes? Have you come with questions? Then ask, and I will do my best to answer. I misspoke before, and I do not wish... Ask, and I will answer. A discussion, perhaps. Ask. Ignorance. And perhaps they do not remember or care. It is of no consequence to me or to them. Am I? Then perhaps you should know there are techniques in the Force where one can cloud the memory of others, make their presence so small as to be unnoticed. And on the worlds where we have encountered these Jedi, there is much life and death where sensing such things is difficult. As I said, it is of no consequence to me or to them. No, but if I did, you would never know, so my words only carry as much worth as you believe them to. But perhaps you will understand this, that perhaps it is important to me that you see me and my actions uncloaked. It is important that your judgments, whether be good or bad, stem from seeing me as I truly am. I did not ask you to trust me, only that you listen to what I have to tell you. But thank you.
What have you brought me? As anxious as I am to give away all my trade secrets, you will understand if I choose not to answer such questions. The fact we are even having a conversation is gratitude. Usually, my conversations do not have the give and take that our current interaction does. And of course, there is much more screaming on the part of the listener when the torture field is activated. You may speak. Now, that would be telling. For now, my presence must remain a secret, and it may remain that way forever.
Yeah, something wrong? More grenades? Alright. Well, keep hoping, because that's not my specialty. Trust me, mass slaughter weapons just cause trouble.
Interjection. Master, I must disagree. Merely the threat of mass slaughter...
Would you please shut him down? It's been like that ever since he arrived. Here's how to kill this, here's how to kill that.
Correction. Assassination theory and execution of said theories is my primary function. I also possess excellent hearing.
Great. Well, all right. You've got a good point. But look, be careful with them. All it takes is one blaster bolt to your bandolier strap and suddenly you're Paragus. Get it? Alright. It's all this traveling, being trapped in the ship. Everything's just too quiet. I'd rather be doing something, somewhere with people, activity, some life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been off planet. Guess I got used to it. Well, Nar Shaddaa may be one of the biggest cesspits in the galaxy, but it's got a life to it. Activity, aliens, people, refugees. It's like noise, but relaxing. Like the hum of a hyperdrive. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. I'll believe it when I see it. No thanks. You can keep your Jedi training, dear. Go ahead. Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge. Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes. I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away. No, it isn't. I spent most of my childhood hauling mines and munitions. Got to know my way around them. If I hadn't, I wouldn't be here right now. Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely. He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast, and all the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't